make sure it's kosher. Lean on me like Bill Withers until you smell the roses.
What's happening, fam? L.A.R. movement still moving. Subscribe or die trying. You see the thumbnail. What they say when you negotiate. So, Lamar Jackson is negotiating his own contract. There's a hiccup because it was, the deadline was like Friday. Today is Sunday that I'm doing this video. And what happened was, people was like, a lot of people were saying it wasn't a good idea. You should get an agent, this, that, and the third. Now, for people who don't know, basically an agent is like a manager, a person who discusses your contracts and this, that, and the third. So, but there are players, and there have been players who've been their own agent. The biggest names I can think of right now, I want to say, is Richard Sherman and Ed Reed. Now, ironically, when you say the quarterback is the smartest position in football, seems like a no-brainer that a quarterback could negotiate for themselves, right? Richard Sherman, they'll say he went to Stanford, but they kind of overlooked, because he went to Stanford, it's like, well, he got to be smart, right? So we can't use the he ain't smart enough trope with him. Ed Reed, I think that was just on the low, but everybody knew he's very smart. Not was, but is. So with Ed Reed, and if y'all didn't know, Miami was like an Ivy League type of school before their football program took off in the 80s. So that's a whole nother story. But Lamar Jackson, a little too Southern for people's liking, I'm guessing. But here's the thing. The precedent is set. The precedent is already set about what the market is compared to the people who came before him. The precedent got set by what he should be asking for by Kyler Murray and Deshaun Watson. The money they got, the guaranteed money they got. Oh, yeah, and by the way, years ago, I was in a post on YouTube in the comment section when people were saying Kyler Murray should have chose baseball. And I said in the post, if he wasn't playing quarterback, yeah, but since he's playing quarterback, he could make up to $300 million in the NFL by this time. And this was years ago. This was like when he was in college. And people thought I was stupid. Hey, everybody in that comment section, I want my apology. Like Shannon Sharp, I want my restitution, because I'm smarter than you, because you're stupid. The market only went up. So he got that money in less time. Thank you very much. But the negotiation part is what I'm talking about now. And I got a few things to say in this aspect. What if he gets hurt? Well, what if he gets hurt? You can, if it's not career ending, he can wind up like Dak Prescott. See, Dak Prescott wanted a certain amount of money. They didn't want to pay. He got hurt. Their team subsequently became horrible, and they couldn't find anybody to replace him, so they had to pay him, even when he was hurt. So guess what? That's already out there. Can you replace Lamar Jackson? Nah. No, you can't. Unless you get one of the top tier quarterbacks who might be coming up on free agency or trade Lamar for another person, which you're probably really not going to do. You're not going to do that. So that's a whole nother story. Now, the other thing, do you want these players negotiating these multi-million dollar deals? No, you do not. Because guess what? You don't want people to go, whoa. For one, it's not that difficult to make these negotiations. And for two, there is no agent/middleman to get a cut. So now you're keeping more of that money in-house. And here's the problem. Now you put yourself in a position where it doesn't look well. It looks like you don't need all of the quote-unquote handlers, right? Because you can handle it yourself. And you don't want other people to get into that. Joji, stop. You stop being a hater. My dog wants to be a hater right now. Don't be cruel, Joji, because I would never be that cruel to you. So, Bobby Brown reference. So now we got to get into it where we're going to play this, anybody else could do it. Well, here's the thing. What's the difference between walking in a room and saying, this is my price because this is the market, and an agent walking in there saying, this is my price because this is the market. What's the difference? You know, or is it a color difference? Or is it a, well, he's been doing this for years difference? Well, you can, have y'all ever considered the fact, and this is what lets me know people aren't that bright. Just because a player doesn't have an agent does not mean they would not take their money and consult an agent and ask them, what would you do? And they pay the agent to say, okay, what I do with this, what I would do is this, and this. I would ask this, and this, and I wouldn't get off this, and this. And at some point they'll have to capitulate to this, and this for this reason, that reason, and that reason right there. So at the end of the day, this is your price. Or this is the area between here and here. These are the years between here and here. See what I'm saying? Not a big deal. So a lot of people forget that. And they never bring that into the fold, but that's a reality. But I'm going to leave it there. Tell me what you think. Like, share, subscribe, or die trying. Catch y'all on the next one. Peace.